Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian. I know it's been a long time. Honest to goodness, I didn't feel like I had anything to really talk about because things were just working. But today I made some changes and I wanted to show you what I got into. So let's dive into it. Every day I check on what's going on with profitability of my rigs. And today I went over to What to Mine. And I checked out my RX 580 cards because I had 4 of them in the rig. And so I went to What to Mine, and I have my own custom RX 580 that has my settings kind of dialed in. And I clicked calculate, and lo and behold, this is what I saw. With the current prices of Ethereum, these cards are making 71 cents before power. After power, they're netting 30 cents. I'm getting to keep less than half of what these cards are earning. So since we're getting into hot times with the summer, I mean, it's already climbing up in the high 90s down here in this part of Texas. And so since that's happening, I said, screw it. I'm going to shut these inefficient cards down. So let me show you this. This was Miner 3. Now, Miner 3 was a mixed rig. It had 4 Radeon RX 580 cards, 8 gig cards, and then it had some NVIDIA cards. So I had to run this with a split flight sheet. It's not a big deal to do. Where it does get tricky is when you're running into your overclocks. But I decided to shut it down, pull these cards, and then move them over to this Miner 1. Now, Miner 1 only had, at one time, only had 3 2070 cards and my old 1060 that I'm mining Ryo on. Now, it's really fun. I just got into just started this video, and look, Miner 1 is gone offline. Well, this has just turned into a troubleshooting video, I guess. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on here. All right, well, I'm back. So I had to go pull the plug on the rig and plug it back in so that I could get it to work. So let me dive into what I wanted to show you. So I moved a bunch of cards over. This originally, this miner only had the first 3 cards here and then the 1060. So what I did is I moved the 1060 all the way down to the last slot in my rig. And then I moved those 4 cards. Let me flip back. These 4 cards right here. I moved these 4 cards in order. So the Dell, the Zotac, the Gigabyte, and the Gigabyte. I moved them into place right over here. So Dell, Zotac, Gigabyte, Gigabyte. Now, doing it that way, I was actually able to go in here and copy all the clocks over. So this is the clock of the 1060 right here. So I was able to, let me show you what I'm talking about. Went over here to this. I said NVIDIA. I was literally able to grab those clocks and copy them over here and paste them right in right there. And then I did the same thing with these clocks, these memory clocks. So I didn't have to set up all my overclocks and so forth again. I was able to do that while the rig was down. And then whenever the rig came into place, all I had to do was it just started the mining and it was good to go. So kind of a helpful, handy thing. Now, what I have, if I go back to my farm now, what I have now is my total power consumption is around 3.6 kilowatts. And so I effectively shaved off about 900, or I'm sorry, about 600 watts of power with getting rid of a whole extra chassis, motherboard, as well as 4 inefficient Polaris cards. So this is just one of those things. I'm not giving you any kind of financial advice, but just pay attention as we get into slimmer times. Start looking at what cards, maybe what rigs you have running, and are you doing any good? I mean, if you just got 1, maybe 2 rigs, you don't mind spending the money because you want the coin. I'm trying to run a more efficient, more profitable system because ultimately I do want to expand. And if all I'm doing is mining to pay the electric company, I don't want to do that. My electric bill for the farm last month was $400. That's a little bit too much for me to spend on power out of pocket. One other thing I want to bring up, I'm just curious if anyone else has been having any trouble with Hive OS lately since they did the upgrades. Is it still randomly knocking you out? And you have to go all the way back through the login process, and sometimes it just doesn't work. This has been a struggle for me in the last week to 2 weeks, and I'm really seriously thinking about trying a different mining operating system. Have you looked at any other operating systems? If so, comment down below and let me know what you've tried, what you think is better, or why you don't like some of the other options out there. All right, if you enjoy this channel, please give it some love, support, give it a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, and thanks again for tuning in today.